Hey, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, welcome to the stream. It is Saturday. I have shaved, just trying to move around that shade. It is Saturday. We are doing a smelt. Look it. Welcome in, everybody. How's everybody doing? What are we doing today? We are doing the smelt. This is smelt number 5. We are hopefully going to get some iron out of this one. So we have, what have we done? We've changed a few things on this smelt, and not many though. With a couple of variables, we're just mucking with a couple of variables here and there. Hello, it's Mercury. How you doing? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. We're smelting. So we've done a slightly thinner wall smelter in itself. That was mainly because we're being lazy and we know we're going to destroy it. We've got the snail fan going. Yep, you can see it there. We have apron boy. And we're basically, one of the variables we're going to change this time is we're basically just going to leave it running flat out. The reason for this is because last time when we did it, we were tempering how much air was actually going through, and we found that it was filling up with slag very quickly. As we slowed it down, that slag was just getting in the way. So we're going to leave it running flat out, and we're going to be tapping it a lot more. You can see we've got a brick in there. That's just going to hold everything in until the ore and the slag gets going, forms its little bowl on the inside of the smelter. Once that's formed, we'll take that out so that we can easily get the slag out, which, you know, bright orange tasty norms. Don't lick the liquid candy. But yeah, we'll be tapping that. There is an audio cue that we know from last time that we are hopefully going to get to listen to. That'll tell us when we need to tap. The other thing we've changed is we went up to an old iron mine up in the hills behind my place, and we raided some of the iron around there. It was abandoned in 1886, and it's now part of a public walking tracks area. So we went up there, got a bit of ore. There is a story behind that. Maybe later. And so hopefully it's a lot heavier than the ore we were using. So hopefully that will change the amount. That'll change the amount of iron we actually get out of this.
And it's got a better magnetic response than the previous ore, so we're pretty hopeful.
Yeah. So we actually had some larger blocks of it that was actually attaching to the magnet before we roasted it. So we're really hoping that this is going to have a higher iron content. I can feel my hair and my arm burning as the sparks hit me because the wind has just changed. We're going to get some more star patterns. Whew, burnies. Yeah, so that's the plan for today. That's what we're going to be up to. Hi, Lilavati. That's what we're going to be getting up to, and yeah, here we go. Chonga. Maybe a bit big to go in. Maybe. All right, so plans. We still have some old ore. I'm Andy, Ace's friend from the other week. Hey, how you doing, Andy? Yay! Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. So what we're going to do is we know that there's a whole heap of slag in the old ore that we used to use. We have some of that left over, so we're going to put that in as the first charge. Maybe the first two. Yep. And hopefully what that's going to do is that's then going to form that bowl that I was talking about earlier in the bottom, and we're not going to be using the good ore just to use up the ore in making that bowl. It's the plan. We'll see what happens. Just because so the question's been asked, are we using the old ore? And yes. So what we're going to be, why we're doing that is that at the bottom of the smelter, it's just a tube that goes to a flat point. So first what happens is that a bowl is formed on the inside out of the slag and the ore and all of that. But that gets left behind in the smelter when we crack it.
So you want the low quality stuff holding the bowl?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's why we're going to put the first couple in now. So I'm going to put this in the little camera, but random sampling of the two different ores. So this is the older one, and that is the newer one. You can see that the newer one, that way, you can see that the newer samples are a lot darker. So we'll see if that means that there's more iron in it.
We've got a full stack. We're full all the way up to here. Oh, hello. Which means we're ready for our first charge. We're going to chuck a temperature probe on it just to double check we're the right temperature. And yeah, we're going to kick off.
Whoop, whoop. Here we go. Oh. Focus camera. Lost a bit of fur on that one. Right.
So our temperature gauge for today will be a K-type thermocouple. We can just hang this end in the fire and it'll give us accurate readings up to about 1200 degrees. We need to figure out, we need about 700 degrees before we can start getting direct reduction on. And yeah, as long as we're over 700, we're good. 900 to 1100 is where we want to sit for most of our reduction, and then we want to sit a little bit higher, lower down, we think, and that'll melt down the slag a bit better.
Alright, so the first measurement at the top hole about there was about 300. Oh, sorry, there was 300. There,
300?
Yep.
500?
500.
700.
700. So there you go. Hey Kiki, how you doing? Welcome to the chat, welcome to the stream. Kiki says hello, April boy.
Hello.
Oh! Tasty. I deliberately got the tongs out so that we could do that without burning ourselves, and then proceeded immediately to do it without them and burn myself.
Good job.
Control value established. Now to test the data.
Damn you, data! Eat! Alright, gotta get some black on the nose. That looks pretty blacksmithy. And there we go. Yeah. That's only gonna get working. Sorry about the drive home, missed that. We all said hello, Kiki. Just a reminder me that we've got gloves. We have the black spot. Right, we can edit that out later. So, one of the other changes we've made isn't necessarily for the Toya, isn't necessarily for the Smelt itself, but Kit has made an adjustment to the Toya. I'll let him explain that.
What we've done is, so that we can actually observe what's happening in the back, we've got a pipe that's running all the way back here that we've got an airline branching onto. Previously we've used an end cap that we can then take off and take a look down to see what's going on. Unfortunately, that means in order to do it, we're limited in how often we can do it, and we sort of interrupt the airflow. So what we've done instead is taken a set of oxy welding goggles, there we are, and put them on a ring. So we have the lens of an oxy welding set of goggles there, which is now our end cap, so we can just look down and constantly observe the Toya. All this really means is we can more easily visually check the temperature, and if it gets clogged up, we'll know it immediately, because we can just look straight down and go, yep, there's something blocking that. It's not moving. So hopefully that'll give us a more efficient smell.
We will hopefully get a couple of photos of that. I'll put some close-ups of the actual adapter in the Discord, but I'll also see if we can get a couple of photos of what it looks like going through there. Obviously, what a camera can see versus what our eye can see will be a bit different, but you'll get the gist, hopefully. So if you didn't hear that, that's Lil Vardy in the background. She's smashing up the charcoal to make it smaller bits.
Smash!
Keep coming, you're not in screen yet. There you go.
Smash!
She's having fun. Right, would it really be an Ulrich stream without technical difficulties? Y'all know it wouldn't be. Nightmare, how you doing? Welcome to the chat, welcome to the stream. Oh, the cops, oh, I can't. At least give us the hot firefighters. I mean, come on. All right. Upright, how you doing? Welcome to the chat, welcome to the stream. Need to make the blood sacrifice. So we have fire. First charge with the It's after me, it's after me. It's freaking really is after me.
How back gloves?
Yeah, gloves.
All the tongue things.
First charge with the new war. The tonguing things don't work with this.
Okay.
They're too big. Nothing but that. Alright, so why are we burning a termite house? Because, yeah, termites. Right, so the reason we're doing this is Iron Age technology. This is basically a lost technology. So what the overall goal is to go back to where it all began and try and figure out how our ancient ancestors made iron. We are using one conceit to the modern, and that's the turbo fan. Got to say, this is not why you check Twitch, but now you can't look away. Yay! Excellent. So what we're doing is we've got a heap of ore. We did what's called a roasting, where we got the ore up to, what temps the ore go up to in the roasting? Yeah, no, in the roasting. Right, so we get the rock up to about 400 degrees when we roast it as the first part of the process. It takes off fluids, it changes the chemical structure of the rock, turns it really brittle. So you take this solid rock and you just crush it in your hand, some of them stay a bit hard, but anyway. Then we're going to chuck it through the smelter, and hopefully at the end of this we'll have a clob of iron waiting for us at the end. So we've made the smelter out of cob. It's just a mixture of clay from under my pergola, quarry sand that we bought in, and some straw that we have lying around the garden. Built that, turned it into cob, built that, and now we are burning the crap out of it. When we talk about we're putting in charges, what we're doing is we are putting in equal weights of ore and charcoal. So as you can see, the two pots that we are using for each charge, the ore pot is quite small compared to the charcoal pot, which is a lot larger. And it just so happened that those two terracotta pots hold a kilo of each. So it just worked out really well. It makes making charges really easy. Two. Well, 4. 2 old, 2 new. So yeah, 4 charges. And basically, so what will happen is as the ore goes down through the length of the smelter, it melts, and it literally turns into molten iron and slag, which is a glass-like. When it's cold, it's basically glass. So we'll get Kit to talk about the temperatures and how that all happens a bit later. But yeah, as it goes down, it melts, forms into basically iron and slag. The slag we want to run off, which is what that brick is for. We'll take that out, let the slag run out, and hopefully, at the end, in the middle, we'll have this big puck of iron. So for the US public, a kilo is little more than a pound. Get with the metric here. Metric. A quarter of a centimeter is 2.5 millimeters. Easy. What?
A quarter of a centimeter. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's 2.5 millimeters.
Yeah, alright.
Easy math, you imperial using person.
Listen. I'll be honest, I thought you were messing up the imperial to metric conversion.
Right?
Which is why I started the question. I was like, wait, hang on.
Yes, Nightmare. A quarter of an inch is 1/4 of an inch. That is true. So we'll be putting charges in as everything down the bottom, as all the charcoal down the bottom is consumed, it'll lower up there. So basically, if you're watching, as you see the charcoal there go out of your visual range, that is about when we need to put another charge in. And that keeps it, as it heats its way down, does the process. But if you let it go down too far, then when you start charging it back up again, the charges don't get as much time to preheat and get it up to the correct temperature by the time it gets down there. So that's something that you have to keep an eye on. I'm actually watching it in the screen as we talk. We've had it at the moment. We had a measure down the bottom, and that was at 700 degrees. That was probably about 15 minutes ago. Naranja 1998, thank you for the follow. Doing the happy dance, doing the happy dance, doing the happy dance, doing the happy dance. We have had measurements in doing these smelts. We have had measurements of up to 1,400 degrees Celsius. I have no idea what that is in Fahrenheit, but it's a bigger number. So, yeah. That is a lot of hot. So if you see us jumping away from it a bit every now and then, you know why. Otto, could you check what 1400 C is in Fahrenheit, please?
So about 500 at the top.
What? 1,400 degrees Celsius. Ah, sorry. Yes. Okay, so we've had it up to 2,552 degrees Fahrenheit. At the moment, what was the top one?
500.
500 at the top,
800 in the middle.
800 in the middle, about there,
980 down there.
and 980 down the bottom. So, you know, the fires of hell. So that's just at minimum temperature down the bottom, isn't it?
And I can see our first piece of melting rock.
Woohoo! Healthy rock pieces! Yeah, now at the bottom it's just at the minimum temperature that we need to have it all melted into scrap, basically. Burning hell means Ulrich's backyard. Maybe! Power gauntlet! Your fire resistance has leveled up!
Evening all. Nightmare asks, so what's the orange contraption back? So this is our air system. This is our blower. It's a radial blower. I think it's meant to blow up bouncy houses, and we're using it as our air supply. We've then got it running through a choke system, which you can't see there, which is just a butterfly valve that just allows us to choke off the airflow if we need. We're going to try and run it pretty much flat chat the entire time. But it does give us the option of turning it down if we need to without having to fiddle around with it too much. So, Ulrich has just asked why we're using smaller chunks of charcoal. Near as we can tell, bigger chunks will allow things to fall through and around it, and by the time they get all the way down, they're still big chunks. If we use a smaller grain of charcoal, we get a finer bed, so things settle down slower, and by the time it gets all the way down here, there's a higher chance that the charcoal is going to float on top of the slag puddle rather than be forced down into the middle of it. Does that make sense?
So, for the record, this is all his fault. This was his idea. All of it. So, on what Kit was just saying, with charcoal getting in it, this is slag, right? So that's come on, focus. That's the leftover material. It's basically glass, but you might be able to see just We're just on the end of my nail there. Just on the end of my nail there is a piece of charcoal that's just hasn't burnt through properly. Probably because it started a bit big, and it's still in there. So I want to try and avoid that if we can. But we will hopefully see the orange glowing candy eventually. It's just waste, Nightmare. I mean, I'm sure a talented Etsy maker could take that glass and make something sculptural out of it. But yeah, for the purposes of this, it's waste. We know the bowl hasn't formed though. Still plenty of hopping down at the brick. Okay, so we thought that the air intake was starting to melt on the inside. Turns out it was just a bit of slag dripping over the top. Gave it a bang, cracked off, no worries. Nightmare. I always imagined iron smelting similar to tin smelting. Well, I've never done that, so I don't know. Over some heat in a container. Oh, you mean like just doing it in a crucible? Yes. It is a little bit more involved than doing stuff in crucible. So it took us, this one, we're getting better at building these things. So this one only took us about 3 hours to build from scratch. We did a nice evening of basically sitting around a campfire and roasting the ore. That was technically about 4.5 hours, but sitting around a campfire spinning worries, I don't call that work. And now this. The stream's been going for what? Nearly an hour. So we've been at it for nearly an hour. I think we've just put in charge 9. Is that charge 9?
Yes.
8. So charge 8. Just put in charge 8. We're aiming, I don't know why, but for a 5 minutes per charge cycle seems to be about the right speed to get this done. So, do we know why it's a 5-minute cycle?
Not really. So we're working off the research of Mr. Lee Sorter, and he's done a whole experiment. Smelt's has done 20 or 30 of them, and he seems to find out that for a smelter about this size, maybe a fraction bigger, he wants to chuck in about a kilo every 5 minutes or so. From memory. Don't quote me on that.
Sorry, Mr. Sauter, if we got it wrong. Today we have made fire. How they figured this out, right? We've got metallurgy, we've got the current process, we've got, we know that doing this will, if you do it right, will make iron. How they came up with this process in the first place is just like, always boggles my mind. You'll be fine, redneck. It's fine, Nightmare. It's only rednecks. Wait, is my neck sunburnt yet? There's a bit more cracking starting to show on the smelter itself than I would have liked. That said, up to this point, this is the least amount of cracking for what we've made in a smelter that we've had. So we're obviously getting the mix of the cob itself better. I put a bit more sand in this one than I did in the previous ones. So we are getting a better mix. We're getting a lot less cracking in the cob, which is a good thing. Nightmare, well, just checked. The period from Stone Age to the start of the Iron Age took 10,000 years, so they may have had some mishaps and failed attempts. Just a couple. Don't forget the Bronze Age is in there as well. Because pretty sure we went from Stone Age to Bronze Age to Iron Age.
Stone, bronze, stone, bronze.
Stone, bronze, stone, bronze?
Yeah, there were 2 stone ages.
Ah! I'm reliably informed there were 2 Stone Ages.
So, Lithic and Neolithic. Hi, so, off the top of my head, about 15,000 years ago, I'm talking around the Mesopotamian region, because that's where I'm studying, and because Eurocentric education. We're seeing Stone Age things at about 20 to 15,000 years BCE. Then we have the first sort of clay bronzy age going on. Then there's that Bronze Age collapse where we don't know what caused it. Maybe it was sea peoples, maybe it was famine or flood or all of the above. There are a bunch of conspiracy theories. There is no proof.
The Earth tried to make itself ball.
Like, look, we were very new to how civilization and sedentary communities worked. So, yeah, there was Bronze Age collapse. Then we're getting to, like, the ancient world, so where you start getting some of the early Hellenistic civilizations. Not aliens. Just because modern white people couldn't work out how to do it doesn't mean it was aliens.
Yeah, it does.
Sorry, pet peeve. So yeah, then we get to the ancient and Hellenistic worlds, and fun times there.
So lots happening.
Yeah, surprisingly a lot.
I had no idea there were 2 Stone Ages.
Yeah, Neolithic, new stone.
Huh. Fine. Educate me in Latin, if I can.
Yeah, well,
Very, very good.
yeah. Lithic, Stone Age. Oh, sorry, Paleolithic. You're welcome, Nightmare. I have a lot of very random specific information. So
There you
yeah,
go.
look at me
Lots
dressing
happened.
up uni 20 years ago.
Lots happening in that 10,000 years.
There's some really cool pottery that came just before the Bronze Age collapse. Don't know if I could try to find a picture and chuck it on the Discord. There's a really cool like pot with an octopus on it that's very lifelike and pretty. Then after the Bronze Age collapse, you don't get nearly as pretty things on pottery as you do then. So yeah, pots.
Pots!
Pots.
Huzzah! So there you go, lots happening. Who knew? I literally did not know that. More charges! More charges! So what we're talking about is if you have a look at the image just here and you have a look at the brick, you can see that there's fire coming out on the side of the brick. What we're actually trying to do is we're hoping that as the bowl forms, there, that it's going to basically cut off the ability for the gas to release that way. This is what happened last time, it's happened the last few times, but it's just not happened yet. So, don't know. We will find out. See, exactly, Nightmare. It's all about the burning. Nightmare said it had to be aliens.
Just because white people don't know how it was done doesn't mean it was aliens. That's racist.
See, wiki articles. Who knew the wiki worked that way, right? Yeah, it would be half a book. You know what history scholars are like. Romeo says prove it, Watson.
Extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof.
I think you made her soul sigh.
Not sigh, angry hands.
Uh-oh, we're at Angry Hands.
Huge difference between a blocked toya and an unblocked toya. We must be close to having the slag ball thing now. Surely, there's been so much dripping and slag melting down. So once again, for those who aren't familiar, what we're trying to do is melt stuff down from the top down. Hopefully we're forming a layer of slag, glassy substance, across here, and what we want that to do is form a bowl that all of our other slag melts down into. Ideally then our charcoal will float to the top of that puddle of slag, and our iron will coagulate in the middle of it. At some stage it will get too high, and it'll start overwhelming our toya, our air inlet, and we'll poke a hole in the bottom from that brick there, and we'll drain some of the lava out, and that's a fun lava camera.
This is the part of the video where we just condense it and it goes fast forward. Okay, editing note to self, when you're watching this, just cut this bit out and fast forward. No. The furnace itself, you can see the layer of bricks on the bottom. They're mainly there to protect my concrete. But the rest of it is literally coal. So, right, so this is basically just wet clay, straw, and some quarry sand. And you mush it up into a ball. And it smooths itself out and becomes basically a nice clayey, sandy potato. The way that I check that it's ready is you get the ball and you twist, right? And it's firm to come apart, but when it does come apart, it basically tears itself apart just on a nice, usually flat plane. Wondering what the hell happened. And that's what this is what the smelter is made of. It's literally clay, straw, and sand. And now I have clay all over my hands. Alright, so taking another set of temperature readings. Yeah, possibly. I mean, it might be the areas of equal heat, absolutely. What's the top?
$560, $580.
580 at the top.
$800.
800 at the next one down. About there is 800.
So we can see colour out of these ones. The fact that we can see orange means that we know it's at least 900 degrees.
1100. There we go. And at that height, it's about 1100 degrees. So, yay!
So I don't know if you could see that. Probably not. If we do it again, we'll try and get a picture. But this slag, when we brought it out, was kicking sparks off everywhere. What this tells us is that there's iron in our hills. So that's pretty happy.
Some of these cracks are getting too big. You can actually see.
So we're starting to see through the cracks into the inside, which is a little worrying. So we're trying to, it shouldn't be a problem. We're trying to patch some of the worst of it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I get a bit concerned when I can see all the way through it. But what I'm using here is just some of the leftover clay. That sun is really bright. We're using some of the leftover clay and just squeezing it into the crack. So what we think is happening at the moment is we think that it's getting it's the slag, the liquid slag is getting to a point where it's starting to cover up the toilet. It's starting to cover up where the air's going in. So we're debating whether we take the brick out, tap it, reduce some of that, or whether it's going to settle down and just continue to be a puddle of melty goodness. Eventually, we're going to have to. That's part of the process. It's just deciding the matter of when. Yes, that is where people lose eyebrows, Nightmare. Absolutely.
You missed the dinner.
So what we can see in the back there is a yellow-green boiling lake of lava that's sort of bubbling into the air, into the toilet. What I'm checking for at the moment is it covering the air inlet because it's falling down from the top, in which case it's fine, we can leave it, or is it starting to boil up from below and overwhelm it? If that's the case, we need to let some out from the bottom. We want to try and overwhelm as much as possible ahead of time so we can get a nice, big, wide, solidified base of slag to sort of get all the charcoal floating on top and all the iron in the middle. So we want to wait as long as we can for that first one, but as soon as it starts putting up the air inlet from the bottom instead of just from the top, then we've got to clear it out.
We'll have shade again shortly.
Anyone want some nice crispy biscuits fresh from the oven?
Throw it in the down here, yeah.
Overexposing. I know how cameras work. I don't know if you guys can see, but this stuff is just so pretty. It's all glittery on the inside. and it's crunchy, and it makes the most beautiful clinking sound.
We normally have so much overcast when we do these things. Getting the light right for this camera is hard. One day, if we ever get this process right, I'm gonna have a moment where I just bring the wok out, do a bit of wok cooking over the top of this. What? I'm emulating Hephaestus, right? We got the iron ore from the future. We're gonna see if we can get this. Skynet starts in Ulrich's backyard. Yes.
So what I need to say is,
So, come on, focus. Focus, camera. Okay, focus. It does. Stupid get wrecked camera. No, I love the camera. Camera's awesome. Right? Meow. It's like a strange Australian animal coming to sniff the camera. I can't see it. Alright, try it up here. Try it with this camera. No, too much. Oh, there we go. Might get the sparklies. Hang on. Nah, just watch it.
I'll see if I can get it focused on you.
Ooh. That's why I'm trying to get it to focus.
Oh, that's pretty.
Ooh, that's very pretty.
Oh no, I was from the camera.
But I thought if it sees face, auto focuses on face.
Wow. Oh yeah, there you go, you got it. See chat, look at that. So shiny.
That level way open. Right, so we just cooled down a big lump of the slag, and it's come out like really green. So you can see that it is like this is a deep. I would say that I would honestly believe if you told me that someone had painted that green, I would believe you. That's the color of it. That looks like it's been painted, doesn't it?
It does. It's also got like that. If you've ever seen something that's been like freshly painted and it looks like it's all wet and kind of reflective, it looks like that.
Right? So, it's really green, it's full of holes, which means there's plenty of gas getting in there. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but we want it full of bubbly gas, and supposedly green in the slag is a good color. We have gotten a couple of little nuggets of iron out of it, but we think this is those first couple of charges that we put in to help make the bowl, because that's the result we've gotten a fair bit of in the last 4 smelts, is that we've had those nuggets of iron that are just throughout the slag. So hopefully there's more iron actually going into it. We'll see.
It's an oozing, bubbling sensation. There's really pretty formations on the inside every time. So we're getting lots of sparks out, which is really comforting because it means there's definitely iron here. This is, of course, as everybody knows, if you expose iron directly to oxide, or directly to oxygen, it will oxidize violently, which is sparks. If you ever used a flint and tinder, or a flint and steel in Minecraft, when you strike it, what you're actually doing is shearing off a very small amount of iron, which is reacting with the air around it and flaring up and burning very, very quickly. Same thing happens when you use an angle grinder. You're cutting off, shearing off little molecules of iron or little grains of iron that are then, because they're brand new and fresh, they all react to the oxygen in the air all at once. So yeah, anytime you see sparks, so these sparks up here are just charcoal burning off. But anytime you see some spark type sparks jumping out from any of the slag or anything, that's our indication of iron.
It's one of the tests you've done.
Right, Wadham, how's it going? Well, no one has died. We have flame. we've gotten a really different result out of the slag. The slag that we've had on the previous smelts has been not this color. This is a very green color. So see if we can get it up on the camera for you. There you go. It's this weird ass green. We've never seen that in the color of slag before. We're taking it as a good sign. So, other than that, we're how many charges in? 19 charges in, so we've put 19 kilos of ore in so far. I thought that was like 2 kilos more than we had. I obviously weighed it wrong when I began.
I want him!
Yeah, we're having fun. Look, I have the blacksmith smudges.
Simba.
Ulrich, everything you see is yours. No, I rule the darkness too. Sorry? Everything that sparks touch. Oh yay, I own it. We're at that wonderful point where we don't actually know what's going on in the smelter. So we're going to take some temperature readings, see how they go, and yeah. Sorry? Right, yeah.
So for the sake of posterity, what we reckon is going on is down here, there's a bit of a cold area.
Jesus Christ. No, it was the cover that we used for the drying just fell off.
There's an area of slag that's sitting in front of the air inlet, which is a bit colder than normal, and it's not liquid or bubbling. That could mean that we've just depleted the slag lake by tapping it, or it could mean it's getting a bit cold and it's formed a crust on top because it's not as liquid as we'd like. Not certain. The options are leave it for a while, or tap it, or be afraid that it's formed a crust on top and it's going to cool down. And not really sure what we do about that, to be honest.
Self-fire.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I mean, we've got 1,000 degrees down here.
Yeah. So what? The bottom one was 1,000?
Yep.
Yep. Middle one.
750.
750 in the middle.
550 at the top.
550 at the top. So about the same as it's been the whole smell.
And we're about ready to charge.
Okay. We are making pretty lava. So we're at the point where we are pulling out more and more slag. We are getting towards the end of the charges that we have of rock that we have prepared. We've probably got another 4, maybe 5 charges, and then we let it run down. So what we're kind of debating at the moment is how much of that slag we pull out, right? So if we pull too much out, then we kill the bowl that all the iron is melting. If we don't pull enough out, then the airflow gets blocked up and doesn't work as effectively, doesn't heat it as much. So this is the balance that we are trying to strike at the moment, and that's why we're all sort of hovering around it like frantic hover parents. It's because kind of we are. Right, so we just cleared the air intake, and from the other side, normally we can see the bubbling slag bubbling. But we just cleared it out and we couldn't see it anymore, so we're thinking that we've maybe drained the slag bowl. We'll see. We've only got a couple of charges left, so I don't think that's going to be a massive issue, but that is something to learn. Right, so we just had a question. Why is the slag bowl important? So what's happening is as it comes down, as it heats up, it melts, everything turns into a liquid. When it gets down to the bottom, down here, it forms into a bowl. And inside that bowl is effectively liquid glass, which is our slag. So then what happens is the iron turns into little iron pellets and runs around in that slag and eventually meets up with other blocks, other bits of iron, and turns into, hopefully, the iron puck. So if you take too much of that slag out, then it's got nowhere to run around into and meet up with other iron and turn into the puck. That's what we're concerned we've hit right now, is that point of we've taken too much slag out. We'll see. And now, as we come to the moment of truth. Yeah, we'll see, Rach. Hopefully it will be. How many charges did we end up with?
This will be charged 27.
That one will be 27?
That one.
Okay.
The next one will be 27.
Nice. 27 charges. Let's see if we get any iron out of it. Bloody Hackforth trying to jinx it.
Trying to get iron.
Yes. There are various uses that various things we want to do with it. Eventually. What we're doing, you can't see him at the moment, but what he's doing down there is he's smacking up the slag that we've got now. And occasionally there is, you know, a bit here and a bit there of iron coming through. It's nicely magnetic. We're taking that as a good sign. We know at least there's these are bigger clumps of iron than we've gotten before in a smelt. So we're hoping that means that there's a nice generous puck in the middle of it all. We'll find out in about 20 minutes.
I absolutely want to be further away on the road.
And also, I know we have before, whoever's on the hose, I know we have before, but we have not watered down the pump. We're not going to water that down, but we will water something down to keep some of what's left in the shelter, just get rid of the ambient heat. Yes, I did bring something else. There's a mean amount of freaking heat coming out of it. Alright, here we go. Make or break time. Yeah. work our way down from the top. Yeah, wow. Okay.
Why not just think ahead?
Hard to get started with deal, but it's still a bit slow. As we get down to the hotter it smells, it's getting better. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I don't know. Look here! Taking this out?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Ready! Woo! Holy, come on, baby. Hot. We want a agriculture jacket. I don't know. Stuck in there. Ready? Not right now. Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? Right, that's a different result.
How much characterize that thing?
I've been half an hour when we've done make Okay, I don't think we've got enough to get that problem.
We were seeing this liquid on there.
Yes, and we got lots of sparklers out of more sparklers than we've got before. So there's iron in it. We've got big chunks of excess out of it. So I think it's going to be down to heating these up and seeing what's left. All right, so yes, Rach, hot things are hot. So what have we got? We've got a destroyed smelter. We've got some very, very hot bits coming out of the middle of it. We had a couple of different results than what we've had before. First is we've had the very gooey slag. We've had that before, and that we thought was because we didn't have enough heat in it. That may have been the case here as well, that we lost a bit of heat for some reason. But last time we did it with the snail turbo, the heat worked really well. We did lose heat here for some reason, we're not sure why. We smacked it out on the wood block, and that was, it started crumbling a little bit, but we think that's because there wasn't quite enough heat left in it to condense it, because we'd lost that heat at the end. So I'm hoping, like, we also got the really green slag, which is meant to be a good sign. So what I'm really hoping is that the iron is there, but because we lost heat at the end of it, that it's not congealing properly when we're trying to smack it together. If that is the case, then when we heat it up in the forge later, we should then be able to condense or congeal? Condense? Yeah, condense it into iron. So that's where we're at.
We had to unblock the Toya a lot more than we did in the past, and we did a pretty good job at keeping it clear. That being able to check visually all the time was brilliant.
Yeah, that was really good.
The tapping regime was a bit odd. I think the Toya was a little bit low. So maybe 250 mil instead of 230 mil for the Toya next time, just because we were getting air from the back all the way through down to the tapping arch. We were definitely seeing iron in there before. I'm fairly confident a lot of what we're going to get out of the middle is also going to be iron. Extracting that in a usable format could be funky, but yeah, optimistic. Very optimistic. The ceramic Toya works fine. No complaints with that. We're just going to figure out what we got and how we use it.
Hopefully we've got a lot of it, so that we each get to use it for something. We will see. We will see. Yeah, let's hope for iron, Wardem. Absolutely. Let's do that. Well, there's the end of smelt number 5.
Now for pizza and standing around and waving magnets at wet slag.
Pretty much. That's now what we do. We just sit around and we wave magnets at it. And hopefully we get some more iron. So we're going to call that a day. So 3.5 hours, that's actually about right. So ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, that was a stream. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching along. Hey! that's yeah, that's probably the biggest piece of iron biggest piece of magnetic that we've ever got out of a smelt.
That was just straight off that top of that bit we were beating down slowly.
Yeah, right. Okay. Oh, mighty Hephaestus, grant us iron. Alright, so we will be back on Tuesday with some No Man's Sky. We are working out how to do the multiplayer on that. Apron boys and the eyebrows. We're working out how to do that, so we'll be back on Tuesday. Going to shut down. Thank you everyone for that is here, whether you helped, whether you just hung out with us. So thank you to everyone. Special thanks to Kit for basically doing it all, you know. So
except, you know, the setup, the organisation, the having a location.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll see you all on Tuesday, and until then, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Bye!
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Don't forget to check the description for any links I may have left there. If you like the video, please press like or subscribe to my channel. Next video in the series is up here. Until then, stay safe, have fun.